Support for this podcast and the following message come from South Carolina Federal Credit Union, a member-owned financial institution. South Carolina Federal is dedicated to serving your financial needs and investing in the South Carolina communities where you live and work. Visit scfederal.org. Support for this podcast and the following message come from South Carolina Federal Credit Union, a member-owned financial institution. South Carolina Federal is dedicated to serving your financial needs and investing in the South Carolina communities where you live and work. Visit scfederal.org.
Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Tinbit Ermias. The artist and human rights activist Weiwei says we have a lot to learn about humanity from animals. And he shares some of what he's learned in a new graphic memoir called Zodiac. The book is a nod to the 12 signs of the Chinese Zodiac. Each one represents an animal and its attributes. And in Weiwei's book, each is linked to a story from his life. He spoke about the book with Weekend Edition host Scott Simon. They spoke about the varied experiences that make up Weiwei's rich life, from growing up in a labor camp in China to being detained for his activism as an adult, and why he chose the Chinese Zodiac as his lens for viewing them.
This message comes from Apple Card. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that can automatically grow over time when you open a savings account. A high-yield, low-effort way to grow your money with no fees. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on iPhone. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility. Apple Card and savings by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, inflation is everywhere. So Mint Mobile is offering premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. To get your new phone plan for just $15, go to mintmobile.com/switch.
Weiwei says he spends a lot of time watching animals.
I think when you live with animals, you learn a lot. And they are often more sensible or have higher intelligence in their own way.
The artist and outspoken activist for human rights lives with a few cats, and one of them can reach up and turn the handle of a door and open it.
When he's doing that, the other cats would laying around, just watch he's doing that. Then everyone would follow him to go out to the garden. And that really surprised me, how he would know by doing that he can get out. So those cats are very, very smart.
His new graphic memoir, Zodiac, has 12 chapters, each named after an animal from the Chinese Zodiac. The artist connects each animal with a story from his life. In the first, Mouse, he recalls growing up in a village in northwestern China that was having a massive infestation of mice. The school blamed it on the Soviet Union right across the border and told children in the village to kill as many mice as they could and bring in their tails.
When you go to school, you will present how many tails of mice in your hands. We didn't feel that's something very awkward. Everybody does it. My highest record is I can catch 81 mice a day.
Ai Weiwei is the son of Ai Qin, a well-known poet who fell out of favor with the Chinese Communist Party in the 1950s. That's why his family was up there in northwestern China, in a labor camp. Ai Weiwei was also spurned by the Communist Party. That began in 2008 after an earthquake in Sichuan province killed about 90,000 people.
But in China, they automatically think the casualties are caused by the natural disaster, which I don't look at that way. Because the schools are built by government, so should not collapse. But very often you see school collapsed, but the other building standing next to it is not collapsed.
So Ai Weiwei began his own citizens' investigation to find out why so many people had died, including many thousands of children.
So I organized the team to go to the locations of earthquake, and town by town and family by family, also school. So we visited all the collapsed schools and interviewed those parents of the victims. By doing that, we collect over 5,000 students' name and birthday. Each day I would post my discoveries on my blog. So that act generates the whole nation's attention.
The government reacted swiftly. Police broke into the team's hotel room in the middle of the night to make arrests.
During one conflict, they beat me and caused my brain hemorrhage. And also they detained me many times.
3 years later, in 2011, I was headed to the airport to fly to Taiwan to set up an exhibition and was stopped by police, put into a van, and held in a sealed room.
Never in prison, but in secret detention. I never been really officially accused. They just trying to use some kind of illegal way to detain me.
He stayed in that room for 81 days. Same number of mice he captured one day as a child. Eventually, Ai Weiwei was released and left China for Europe a few years later. The book ends with a picture of Ai Weiwei flashing his middle finger. It's a gesture he's become known for.
Well, it's a silly gesture, but it becomes more and more meaningful when it's become a form of resistance. So in today's condition, we often want to raise our middle fingers.
And he says he's raising his middle finger not just to China, but also the West.
I was flaunting my middle fingers in front of White House in Washington, and also Trump Tower, and also the Berlin Parliament. I do many locations, hundreds of locations.
Ai Weiwei, his graphic memoir, Zodiac, co-written by Alitris Tamboulis and illustrated by Gianluca Costantini.
On the TED Radio Hour, law professor Nida Farahani says brain sensors may soon be able to read our innermost thoughts.
A world where what you're feeling can be decoded using AI and neurotechnology.
And that comes with huge risks.
If we don't have safeguards in place, what it means to flourish as a human may suddenly not be our own.
Brain Hacks, that's on the TED Radio Hour from NPR.
Support for NPR and the following message come from Rosetta Stone, the perfect app to achieve your language learning goals no matter how busy your schedule gets. It's designed to maximize study time with immersive 10-minute lessons and audio practice for your commute. Plus, tailor your learning plan for specific objectives like travel. Get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off and unlimited access to 25 language courses. Learn more at rosettastone.com/NPR. This message comes from NPR sponsor Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell and show up exactly the way you want to. Customize your online store to your style. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/NPR.